Hello and welcome back to the Thunderdome. As many of you know, I am the John Wick of seducing elderly women. But I didn't always have that skill. For one woman, I was the devil incarnate. Now what did I do? Did I spit in her cereal? Did I slash her tires? Did I punch her kids in the face? No to all three. So get a bag of popcorn, sit back, relax, and let me tell you the story of how an old woman faked a seizure on me. So this happened about 3 years ago. I used to work for AT&T, and I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, didn't you say you worked for Verizon? Yes, I do. But this time, I worked for AT&T. So, this happens round about towards the end of the evening. A woman comes in, probably in her, I'd say mid 60s or so, and she's broken her phone. And so normally, in that instance, we will give them a packet with our insurance options, and they call the insurance company as it's a third-party source, and they handle it, and they go about their business, and we don't really do much of that. So, she comes in, and she says that she's got a broken phone, and I give her the packet, and she's like, no, I've been on the phone with Asurion for the past 2 hours, and they said I needed an affidavit form and for it to be faxed over. I didn't know where to get the affidavit form, so I called a manager asking for instructions. He said he would text me the information on how to do it, and after waiting roughly 10 minutes or so, she remarked that she had been waiting too long and wanted me to contact the manager. My manager was actually out of town, so it was just myself and my coworker. So as I'm about to call him again, the instructions were sent over to me, and I start the process of printing off the affidavit. Now, I asked for the necessary information from her to complete this form. She then became very hostile after I said that the normal claim for a new phone works for most people. And I didn't say it as a slight towards her, more thinking out loud as to why Asurion would not accept a claim over the phone. And then she started to walk out of the store, but turned around at the door and began yelling at me, saying that I need to learn about customer service and respect. So I asked her to calm down, or she'd have to leave. And at that point, that only enraged her further. So she said that I wasn't trying to help her, which is bullshit, because our computers were incredibly slow there. And it was taking too long, and I just wanted to get this done, get her out, and put this past us. So I was doing this on my own phone because it was faster than doing it on the computers. And she was just being hostile despite our attempts to help her. And so my coworker is just trying to calm her down, be like, hey, same thing. If you don't calm down, you're going to have to get out, all that good stuff. My coworker started to diffuse the situation and saying that she'd take over and all that stuff as long as Katherine would stop yelling and behave. Very similar to what you'd say to a toddler whenever they're throwing a tantrum. And so Katherine was like, all right, I'll calm down, but I don't want him in here, pointing to me. And so I'm like, all right, that's fine. I'll go wait in the back until this is all done. So I go in the back, and I'm waiting for Sarah to finish helping Katherine. And about a minute later, I hear Sarah yell. So I look at the cameras in the back and see that Katherine was on the ground convulsing. And so Sarah yells for me to call 911. I did, but as Katherine was seizing, she said she did not want an ambulance in a perfectly formed sentence. And so I told the EMS what she said, and they told me that if we needed anything, to give them a call again. And around the time that I was talking, or finishing talking to the EMS, Katherine stopped convulsing and appeared to be okay. And so she asked for water, and I went and got her a bottle. And apparently while I was back there, she had 2 more seizures. And so I gave her the water, and she just got back in the seat and continued waiting for the affidavit. And then I went to the back office, and I'm no doctor, so I was like, man, if memory serves, you can't really talk whenever you're having a seizure, right? So I call up a buddy who's prone to stress-induced seizures, and I'm like, hey man, you ever been able to talk when you're having a seizure? He's like, no, never been able to. And I explained to him what just happened. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure she's faking it. And so I'm thinking this woman is trying to fake a seizure on us for lawsuit purpose or sympathy purpose. I don't know, but it doesn't make any sense if she's trying to do it for sympathy, because I have none. Anyway, Sarah later told me that while I was in the back and she was getting all this information from Katherine, Katherine stated that she suffers from Alzheimer's, so some of the information she was giving may be in fact wrong. And I'm thinking that's the icing on the cake right there. But before she leaves, a customer comes in, and I'm still sitting in the back because I don't want to piss off Katherine anymore and force her to fake any more seizures. And apparently while I'm back there, she is just ribbing me to this customer and telling him how rude I was, and it apparently caused her to have a seizure. And so after about 5 minutes, my coworker said I can come out there and help the guy. Just, I can't talk to Katherine. I was like, that is fine by me. So I go out there and sit next to the guy, help him with his problem, all that good stuff. He doesn't mention anything. He's perfectly cordial. And then he leaves. So after that, my coworker gets the necessary forms printed off and gave them to Katherine. And as she's leaving, she turns around and asks for both my name and my coworker's name, at which we give her our names. And then she tells me again that I need to learn about respecting my elders and customer service. And then she leaves. And so afterwards, I call my boss and I tell him the situation. I'm like, am I going to get fired? What if she sues? And he's like, I wouldn't be too worried about it. Just write out what happened, sign it at the bottom, and we'll cross that bridge if we get there. So here we are at the end. Thank you so much for watching. I do have a couple other videos, customer service wise, that I'd like to post. As most of you who work in the service industry know, there's never an end to these kind of videos. So as always, till next time.